everybody. So if you notice a change in quality in this video, it's because my laptop has hit the hay finally. I've been trying to keep it alive all through nursing school and it's done. So the charging port is broken, and I was able to set it up to where at least my computer would turn on, but it wouldn't charge, and then it just won't turn on. So I need to get that fixed. I'm actually going to be getting a new laptop. So right now I am filming on my tablet, which is, I feel like it's pretty good quality, but I feel like it's not like my camera. But once I get a new laptop, I'll be able to film on my camera again. But I still wanted to get videos up for you guys, so I have an editing software and all this. I feel like I'm explaining a lot right now, but that's the gist on my video quality. But we're going to get right to the video. If you haven't noticed by the title, I'm going to be talking about how to pass the NCLEX. Right now, with world events, there's a lot of negativity because nursing students are not able to take the NCLEX. So I wanted to make this video for all of you that are waiting to take the NCLEX and are studying, and now is a great opportunity to study longer. So look at the positive. So I'm just going to go over my 5 tips that I used. I passed the NCLEX in 75 questions. It took me an hour to take the test. I came out on my test and my mom saw me coming and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're already done?" I just felt really good during NCLEX, better than a lot of people. And so yeah, I'm just going to share with you the 5 tips that I used. So to kind of preface more in this video, I started studying for the NCLEX my first day of nursing school. I downloaded an app and I paid for it, and I just used that to study for my nursing school exams as well, and then it also prepared me for the NCLEX. So I started very, very early, so I was already really comfortable with the questions and stuff, but I still was nervous. So we're just going to go with tip number 1, which I think is the most important, and I'm going to sound like a nursing school professor right here, but pay attention to keywords. Yes, girl and guys, yes. Okay, so the NCLEX will get you. If I did not practice underlining keywords, and if I didn't start highlighting them whenever I was practicing questions, I don't think I would have gotten as many questions right nearly that I got correct. Even questions where I didn't know any of the content and I was like, "Oh, I got that wrong." No, I got it right because I was able to pay attention to keywords. Now, underlining and highlighting keywords while you're practicing, it will help you point them out a lot faster during a test, so that you're not sitting there while you're nervous trying to figure out what the heck is the key word in this question, because we all know that the questions have a key word. So definitely pay attention to keywords. Get in the habit of pointing them out in some way. And yes, most important, even if you don't study any content, keywords, yes. My second tip, I have a paper so I'm looking down. My second tip is go over all your rationales. The ones that you got wrong, go over first. Pick out the keywords, understand why you got it wrong, but then also go over the rationales on the questions that you got right, because I know you didn't get all of them right just because you know the answer. You got some guessers right, and so you need to know why you got that right and what you were thinking, and if you were thinking correctly, and that will really help you understand what you're getting right and wrong, what's the disconnect, how are you thinking. And yes, so I went over wrong rationales first, then I went over the guessers, and then I went over the questions that I knew the answer. I went over those rationales third, and that really helped me understand how to think. Third tip is do not overload on content. That was a tip my friend Hannah gave me, and it is a very vital tip. So a lot of us, especially if you're type A, which a lot of nurses are, you will want to go over everything you ever learned and all this stuff. Yeah, there's no time to go over it. There's not enough hours in a day. You're not going to be motivated if you're overloading your brain with content, and then in the end you're just going to end up clouding your brain with content anyways, because you're going to be like, I think I read that somewhere, but here I read this. Just trust that you passed nursing school, you passed the exams, you did all the work, you stayed up late studying all those years. Your brain has it in there somewhere. Even if it's like a subconscious feeling, it's in there. If you have a topic that you're absolutely struggling with, then I will go over that. Such as my topic that I struggled with a lot in nursing school with was blood clotting times, and also like knowing shock is what I meant to say. Shock, sepsis, the different kinds, all that stuff. I will go over that, but go over the black and white information. Don't go over the, in this situation you do this, in that situation you would do this. Go over black and white information because that's all you need to know. Black and white. Keep it simple. Work smarter, not harder, because you're going to be going over all that extra content, and then you're going to get to the NCLEX and realize there wasn't a single question about it. So, black and white information that you struggle with, that is it. My fourth tip, and a lot of people will disagree with this one, is use various resources. Resources with an S at the end. People told me not to use that, like only to use one thing. So I used various resources, and it went over a lot of different types of questions, maybe that I didn't think about, and all this stuff. So I'm just going to go over what I used. I had to make a list because I used a lot over my 2 to 3 years of nursing school. So I used UWorld in my last month before the NCLEX. I used Kaplan. I used that. My school made us do it, but I also got the Kaplan Mastery app from the Play Store. And so I only paid like $30 for that, and they kept updating it, and it works without Wi-Fi. And so I use that thing to death. Like, I really recommend that one. And I also had a professor who worked for that app, and I didn't know that until I was almost graduating. And so that was pretty cool. I also used the Saunders flashcards one of my coworkers gave to me. I was a tech and she was a nurse, so she gifted them to me, and I just passed them along to another nurse. Well, she's a tech, but she's going to be a nurse, but she's going to pass the NCLEX, and I gifted those to her. And then I used a workbook or two that my mom and my aunt gave me. And so I used all those resources, and they had all kinds of different rationales, long and short. They had all kinds of different questions, all kinds of different topics, and I really felt like well versed. So that way, by the time I got to the test, I wasn't worrying like, oh, did I go over enough questions or whatever. And speaking about that, while we're on the questions topic, I did 300 questions a day. Now, that sounds so scary, and whenever people would tell me that they did that many questions, I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way I can do that. I'm like, have all this stuff going on, and I have a life, and there's no way that I can do 300 questions a day. But what I would do was, with my brain, I have to cut it up into chunks, otherwise I get too overwhelmed. And one of my professors actually pointed this out to me, but whenever I get overwhelmed, I shut down. I can't function. I just go blank. And so what I would do is I would say, okay, well, if I do 150 questions in the morning, then I could take a break all day, and then I have to do 150 questions at night. But then, if I was feeling overwhelmed with just that, I would do 75 questions, take like a 15-minute break or whatever, and then do 75 more questions. And so I broke it up like that, but I wouldn't go any lower than 75 because of the NCLEX. It's like minimum of 75. And so, yes, so that is how I did that. And I mean, whenever you're studying, it never feels like enough, but I feel like 300 questions was, I mean, looking back, I feel like I prepared very well for what was on the NCLEX and how to think and stuff. And so I feel like that's a very appropriate number to go off of. Now, there are some days where I only did 150 because I was not having it. I was like, no, there's no way, I'm not completing this, but I at least did something. And so at least doing some questions, even on your bad days, will help you. And that leads me to my last tip is don't just study, don't just practice, but enjoy your life. I worked full time, I studied for the NCLEX, my dad was sick, and I was getting married, and I still passed. Y'all, if I can go through all that and still pass within 75 questions, then so can you. There are some days where I just could not. Like, was crying while doing practice questions. My husband can vouch. I literally would be sobbing, just clicking answers. It was a time to be alive, but I made sure to de-stress every day. I took my baths, I played with my dog, I took my dog on walks, I went running and walking, and I did things that made me happy and that made me de-stress. I also meditated. I was going to pass the NCLEX because for some reason meditation really helps me build confidence. So yes, but that is a whole different video that I would like to do. But yes, make sure to de-stress and take care of yourself. You're never going to pass if you're stressed out. I mean, I hate to say that, but if you're stressed out, you're not thinking clearly, you're not studying right, you're not practicing right, you're just going through the motions, you're probably not going to pass. So you really need to make sure to take care of yourself and eat good and sleep and do all this feel good frou-frou stuff. So yes, so those are my 5 tips to passing the NCLEX. I hope this video wasn't everywhere, and I hope this can help some of you guys who are quarantined and still studying. I hope this can help you pass the NCLEX. I get so many questions on how I passed within 75 questions because people just know how busy I was and how crazy 2019 was. And so yes, if I can do it, you can do it. The NCLEX, it's a scary test, but just think about the whole rest of your life that you can be a nurse and you can help people, and right now you can help yourself by studying more. And so I hope you guys found these tips helpful. I hope it wasn't too repetitive of what everyone else told you. I hope that I was able to at least help just one person out there study a little bit better. And if you're a nursing student and you're getting ready to take the NCLEX, comment down below on what's most beneficial for you and let's help each other out. But also let's open up and comment what's your most stressful part about the NCLEX, or what's the scariest part about nursing that you are scared about, because I was definitely scared about a lot, let me just say. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.